The sixth art is called Mlechita Vikalpaha. That's the sixth art. Mlechita Vikalpaha. Now, what is the story for this? I will tell you the story. In the Mahabharata, when Pandavas were back in Hastinapura, Duryodhana and company wanted to get them killed. So Shakuni said, the best way is to lure them and be hospitable. So they constructed a palace called Laksha Griham. So they will put the fire, that's all, it will burn. But they had to say, Kunti Mata, you have undergone so much of pain and sufferings all through your life. We feel as Kauravas, the sons of Gandhari and Dhritarashtra, we feel so very bad looking at the pain that you've undergone. So I, Duryodhana, and my dear brothers who are close to 99 in number, and we have a sister and another brother called Yuyutsu together. We have sought some funds and built a beautiful palace for all of you to enjoy. Mata, please give us the opportunity to be your hosts. That's all. Kunti said, Tathastu beta. They didn't know they were getting into a death trap. Now, Vidura is the minister for them. He cannot go reveal it directly. So these Pancha Pandavas were saying, bye. Vidura knew this will be the last bye. How will he tell? This is where Vyasa uses this line. Make note of this. Prajnaha prajna pralapajnaha pralapajnamidam vachaha prajnam prajnah pralapajnaha pralapajnam vacho bravi. This is Mahabharata shlokam. What is this word, sir? Prajnaha prajnam prajna pralapajna. What is this? The meaning is the one who knew how to decipher and deliver a secret language to the other person without the third person knowing that this is secret language was Vidura, who told Yudhishthira. This is the line Vyasa says, Prajnaha prajna pralapajnaha pralapajnam idam vachaha. He spoke. What did he speak? See, what Vidura says, only Yudhishthira should understand and nobody else. They were extremely good in political science. Let us see what he says. He looks at Yudhishthira, who Vidura, he says. Others were thinking this is generally a parting message. See, it's going to be such a small world. Wow, come and give me a hug, hug, hug. They thought this will be those kind of messages, Siya, Mua, and all of that. They didn't know what was coming. He said, Kakshaganaha Shishiraghanascha Mahakakshe Bilaukasaha. My dear Yudhishthira, you know what? All through my life, I've seen fire burn the straw. I've seen fire take away the dewdrops in the early morning. You know how others survive such fire? Yudhishthira said, how? Bilaukasahana dehed iti cha atmanam yorakshati. They generally get into the holes of the ground. Have you heard of that, Yudhishthira? Yudhishthira said, yes, I've heard of them. Thank you. And he left. These four brothers asked, what was Vidura telling about some dewdrops and straw? Yeno, Yudhishthira helo nammatra, Anna. Yudhishthira said, it seems we will all die soon. Yeno, we will die? He didn't tell that. He didn't say. He said fire will burn the straw. How is that God connection? It means the place where we are going to stay will be burnt. Then how will we live? He says that he has constructed a hole in the ground and we have to escape through that. He spoke about the rat. Who is the rat? We are the rats. How a message is being delivered. This is Mahabharata. When we see the security advisor of a country or a defense advisor, they will not be talking. Do you think they will all get together and they will nothing will happen? They will have a secret language. So to code that, in the 1960s, even in the Tamil households, there used to be a secret language called Ka Bhasha. Have you heard of it? Kasakara kavakana kasikatkati kasakveve saravana chitti vandacha. Kasakara kavakana kasi katkati. They will add ka so that the child doesn't understand. That is why in Tamil Nadu, to speak in Hindi is very easy amongst parents because the children don't learn. So that is also Mlecha Bhasha. So it is Mlechita Vikalpaha. Mlechita Vikalpaha means it's a foreign language to the natives. To speak in a code language is also an art. Some parents are very good at it. Correct. The father has to tell the mother something. The child should not understand. How will they tell? Unless and until they have produced very intelligent children. Then they will understand better. Now, this is a AI generated image. You have to assume that is Yudhishthira and the five brothers and Kunti Devi at the top. Okay. And the person who's explaining is Vidura. Sir, Vidura hingirtana, sir. Nan gottilla. AI showed me this. Now, the next one is a very interesting one. Seventh art. Abhidhana koshaha. Abhidhana koshaha. Samanarthaka shabdanam jnanam sahi kalasmrita. That is the seventh art. Seventh art is lexicography, which is roughly dictionary. How important is dictionary? Any language. You ask Tarur for the word chaos. He gives you 10 words. Commotion. First, you have to put the thing up. If I have to explain Tarur. Commotion, pandemonium, imbroglio, he will tell you 10 words. Which word to use where? So, for one word, he will tell you 10 words. That is synonym. Samanarthaka shabdam. You have to go one step deeper. This is a very important portion that you all have to pay attention to. I will tell you the context in which this comes. 1,000 years back, in the outskirts of Chennai, in a small village called Sri Perumbudur, was born a great Acharya whom we celebrate today called Bhagavad Ramanuja. Bhagavad Ramanuja used to learn Samanya Shastram, Nyaya, Mimamsa, so on and so forth, from a great teacher called Yadava Prakasha. Yadava Prakasha lived in another village called Tirupputtkuzhi. Sir, ಈ ಹೆಸರೆಲ್ಲ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. You audio record it, listen to it. I can't help. Tirupputtkuzhi. This is on the way in the Chennai-Bangalore highway. In that kshetra, in that temple, Yadava Prakasha used to be teaching Samanya Shastra to his students. One amongst them was Ramanuja. Ramanuja, one day he took chutti. Sir, auru leave tagotara, sir, tagotare. One disa he said, I'm bahut body pain, I can't go today. He didn't go. The next day he went. But he has missed one day's portions. The day he went, it was the massage day of his teacher. So Yadava Prakasha will keep one hand on one student, the other hand on one student. He'll be seated like this, tonsured head. They will put nice sesame oil with little pepper on the top and massage well. It was Ramanuja's turn to massage his teacher. So in those days, students had to do a lot of work. Even I remember while I was a student, if I had to carry books, if the teacher says, Dushyanth, yes ma'am, carry the books to the staff room. It used to feel like a Nobel Prize. Teacher is calling me. Trump wants that. I will give that. I used to feel my teacher has given me Nobel Prize. Bring the books to the staff room. That's all. To get inside the staff room itself was a big moment. Today, the teacher says, bring books. She'll be booked under child labor. That's all. Teacher has to go count number of rods. So, Ramanuja was massaging the head. It was like Ghatam. That time, one student asked, Sir, yesterday you had taught Chandogya Upanishad. हमें समझ में नहीं आया. दोबारा बता सकते हैं? हम स्कूल आए थे, बता सकते हैं क्या? So, the teacher said, sure. What is that doubt you have, my dear student? You said, sir, in Chandogya Upanishad, Paramatma's eyes are like, explain. Apranaghat sarvayeva suvarnaha. You have to pay attention to understand this. From head to toe, Paramatma is gold-hued. Apranaghat sarvayeva suvarnaha. Hiranya smashruhu. Gold beard. Gold mustache. Hiranya keshaha. Gold hair. How are his eyes? Tatha yatha kapyasam pundarikam evamakshini. His eyes are like, pundarikam is lotus. Kapyasam, the student asked. What is Kapyasam, sir? Ah, I told you yesterday, no, the back of a monkey. The student got, see, when you're explaining, look at the eyes of Paramatma. Aren't they like the back of a monkey? Just imagine giving this simile. They said, sir, ಏನೋ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇದೆ sir, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ sir. Teacher said, Kapyasam means only that Kapihi is monkey, Ayasam is back, the back of a monkey. Immediately he had something burn his shoulders. He turned back. It was Ramanuja's tears that were flowing on him, which felt like fire. He said, Ramanuja, kya hua? Conjunctivitis? Why are you crying? Ramanuja said, in my entire life, I have never come across a person who has given such a nasty explanation. You are explaining the eyes of Paramatma, and the Aradhaka, the Upasaka, now has to imagine a monkey, and that to the back of a monkey, and the redness in it, and then describe the eyes. Ye kya hai, sir? Then how do you explain Ramanuj? Tum batao. Right? That is when Ramanuja gave 3 explanations, very important. Look at the picture there. 5 elements are important. The sun. There is a lotus. This is not for Tamil Nadu. So, there is a sun. Then there are the rays from the sun. There is a conglomerate of petals, which is the lotus flower. There is a stalk. And then there are the serene waters. 5 elements. Look at the first explanation. Kapistwaditya kampibati kiranairityapi kapir babhastityamna tassa kapiramunastam yadihatat pratima kapyasam divasakara tejo vikasitah sapadma shrimatvadagani bhavachakshurupama. First explanation. Come. In English means come. No. In Hindi, chini, come means less. That is also not that come. In Sanskritam, come, ka ke upar dot. Come means water. Come means water. Come pibati. Now sun travels. From the morning to the evening, he travels. In Chennai, it was 42 degrees yesterday. He has traveled very well. Now through his rays, what will he do? He will drink waters. So the rays of the sun are his straws. He will drink water. Immediately the water in the Chembarambakam lake will come down. In Bombay, Koina, Maina, Uppar Vaitarana and all is there. All that will come down because sun is drinking water. Water is what? Come. Pibati, drink. The one who drinks water through his rays is called Kapihi, which is sun. Sun's other name is Kapihi. So he drinks that water. Babhasti means to drink darkness. When sun comes, the darkness is gone, which means the sun has consumed the darkness. So sun consumes the water, so he's Kapihi. Babhasti, Bhabasti, he drinks that darkness. And after doing so, through that sun, the petals bloom. Since the lotus blooms upon seeing the sun who has consumed water, sun, that lotus is called Kapyasam. You've got the first meaning. Second meaning. Nalam kapir bhavati kampibati titasmin yasya sasanamushanti manishinastat Kapyasamujjvalamudharamidam sarojam chakshur nidarshanamudiritam ishwarasya. See, tender coconut is very good for health. You all know that? There is a problem with tender coconut. For people who are extremely orthodox, there is a problem. Because if you cut the tender coconut and put a green color straw, a foreign material has entered. You cannot drink. Let us cut it open and then put it above us, Abhishekam. Sir, easy there, sir. You cut it open and put it to a vessel and drink. There is a Shastra Vakyam. If you put tender coconut water to any vessel, that moment it is regarded as toddy, liquor. Yo, sir. That is why I said first itself disclaimer for people who are extremely orthodox. Namgilla. ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೋ ಸರ್ ರೂಲು, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. So How will the Achara Shilas drink? They used to take the lotus stalks and use that as straw. So this was a method. Now, this lotus, we read those chemical processes like osmosis. We have read, right? Now, what happens is the waters from the lake, the long stalk has the ability to drink. Sun drinks the water, so he is kapihi. The same rule, stalk is also kapihi. Come, he drinks water. So the stalk is kapihi. So then he says, the next word he says is asa. Asa means seat. So stalk is kapihi. On that stalk, on that stem, sits as the seat, asa, the lotus. So the lotus which sits as the seat on the stalk is called kapyasa. Second derivation. Third, कमुदिकमिह प्यासो यस्यासनं यदि वोद्भवः कविभिरुदितं कप्यासं तद्गभीरजलोदयात् शिशिरमधुरं श्रीमद्दामोदरक्षिणि दर्शनं भवति नलिनं लुप्ताकारस्त्वपि पिहितादिवत्. So the third, first, I'll just revise for your sake. Kam is water. So the first example, kapihi is, so through the rays he drinks water and makes the lotus bloom. So lotus is kapyasa. Second, kam is water. That which drinks water is the stalk. So the stalk is kapihi. Asa is the seed. So the lotus sits on the stalk. So it is kapyasa. Third, forget the petals, forget the stalk. All of this sits on the water. So kam, water, is the seed for that lotus. So it is kapyasa. So three ways you can derive kapyasa as the lotus. You don't have to think of the monkey and its back. So using lexicography or dictionary is extremely important to use the right word at the right moment. So that is your next skill. Eighth skill, Chandogyanam. Chandogyanam is knowing the knowledge of meters. See, every language will have a meter. For example, when we look at Vedic Sanskrit, Gayatri, Udati, Pankti, Trishtipu, Anushtipu, these are all chandas. When you look at Samskrita Kavyam, I will give you one example. If you note this, it's very beautiful. This is from Gita Govindam. Have you heard of Gita Govindam Ashtapadi? By whom? Very good. Yeah. We also have a hospital in his name. Avaso. Now I'll read out, I'll sing. Sir, ade sir punishment salpa. आवासो विपिनायते प्रिय सखी आलापि जालायते तापोऽपि श्वसितेव दावदहन ज्वालाकलापायते सापि त्वद्विरहेण हन्त हरिणीर् उपायते हा कथम् कंदर्पोऽपि यमायते विरचयन् Shardulavi Kriditam. This is the verse. Okay. Forget about the meaning for some time. Now, if you had noticed this, I took a pause. Where did I take? Avaso vipinayate priyasakhi. Pause. Al mala pijalayate. Then I continued. Stapo pishvasite vadavadahana. Pause. Jwala kalapayate. Pause. So after 12 aksharas, I took a pause, and again after 7. This is the pace at which a tiger jumps. So this meter is called Shardula Vikriditam, like the tiger jumps. How will we know, sir? That is why when you sing the Sanskrit verses itself, you will be able to gauge, does he know Sanskritam or not? He will take that particular pause in that meter at that time. For example, I'll give you a famous, this is called Shardula Vikriditam, this meter, like the tiger jumps. Famous shlokam. I'll tell you one shloka. Ya kundendu tusharahara dhavala. Now you see, Ya kundendu tusharahara dhavala. 12. Ya shubhravastra 7. Ya veena manditanditakara 12. Ya shweta padmasana 7. So 12, 7, 12, 7 you'll go. How, if I tell the number 12, what does it remember? You will be reminded of 12 Adityas, Dwadasha Adityaha. Seven horses to Surya. So this particular meter says Surya Shvair Masajastaha. Surya Ashvaihi. Surya 12, Ashvaihi 7. Take a pause after 12, take a pause after 7, then they will call you a scholar. Okay. Now, I will give you another example. This meter is called Mandakranta. So for Gita Govindam, this is the picture. Does he look like Krishna? AI generated. Now this is Rama. If I speak only about Krishna, Rama will get angry. After 500 years, he has finally got a house. So he will say, now in Hamsa Sandesham, Vedanta Deshika says, Ichha matra jagada paratha samvidhatum kshamanam. So this goes by the rule that you'll have to stop after the 4th letter, 10th letter and 17th letter. That is how you have to take a pause. This is called Mandakranta. This is called as Chandogyanam, knowledge of meters. That is the 8th art. 9th art, easy for us. Desha Bhasha. What is Desha Bhasha? The Acharya says, Asyant aneko giram margaha sukshma bhedaha parasparam. Learning multiple languages is an art. The moment you do Bharatiya Bhashas, if I put you to Germany, remember, in a week's time you'll learn German. Mandarin will be a cakewalk. But for that, you have to respect every language here. You have to learn. We should never get jingoistic. See, again and again, I keep repeating in every lecture. Pillangoviya cheluva Krishnana yelli nodidiri. Such a beautiful way. Purandaradasa brings to us that little Krishna where one person inquires the other. Pillangoviya cheluva Krishnana yelli nodidiri. Where did you see him? See, when you think of that scene, Purandaradasa paints it in front of us. How beautiful is Kannada? Manavinala kincha radate marmamella telpagane manasa. Sir, you are singing in a different way. I am singing in Telugu. Now they are singing Manavyala kincha radate. రాదటే యూ కెనాట్ స్ప్లిట్ ఇన్ తెలుగు. తెలుగు భాషలో రాదటే ఒక శబ్దం. మీరు విచ్ఛేదం చేస్తున్నారంటే పర్వాలేదు, లేకపోతే అది పాడుతున్న సమయం ఒక శబ్దంగా పాడాలి. రాదటే వానతిన్ మీదు ఆడ మ ఇల్ కండేన్ విల్ యూ సింగ్ లైక్ దట్? See, the irony is most of the Carnatic songs are in Telugu. Most of the musicians are Tamil. So for that, what should people do? Tamil musicians should learn Telugu. Telugu people should learn music. Both are important. Correct? Manavina alakincha. Manavi alakinchu. Manavi alakinchu. So, Manavina alakincha radate marmamellane telpagane manasa. Telugu is so beautiful. It is like honey. Right? When you taste, you feel like having putarikulu. It is so tasty. Tamil, காணாமல் வீணிலே காலம் கழித்தோமே சேனாடர் போற்றும் தில்லை சிதம்பர ஸ்தலத்தினில் காணாமல் வீணிலே. How beautiful! தமிழுக்கும் அமுது என்று பெயர். திருநீலகண்டே நெத்தித்தடத்திலே ஒரு கனல் நேத்திரத்தில் நின்னும் പൊറ്റിപ്പുരപ്പറ്റു സംഹാര ഭീകര താണ്ഡവം ആടിയ ദുർഗേ അമ്മേ കൊടുങ്ങല്ലൂരമ്മേ അമ്പേ കുരുമ്പേ തൊഴുന്നേ. എത്രയായിട്ടുണ്ട് എൻ്റെ മലയാളം? So it is so beautiful to listen to. ഓംകാര സ്വരൂപ സദ്ഗുരു സമർത്ഥ അനാഥാഞ്ച്യനാഥ തുജനമോ Tuzanamo. Marathi. What beautiful abhangs they have given us. So any language is beautiful. So the 9th art is Desha Bhasha.
परम भागवत मौनि वरस शिविभाकर सनक सनंदन दीश सुर किं पुरुष कनक कशिपु सुत नारद तुम्बुरु पवन सूनु बाल चंद्रधर शुक सरोज भव भूसुर वरुलु परम पावनुलु घनुलु शाश्वतुलु कमल भव सुखमु सदानुभवुलु गयंदरो महानुभावुलु. As I'm speaking these divine lines of Sri Tyagaraja Swami, I've received the very divine Onavil of Thiruvananthapuram. This is going to be a grand, a mega Natya production titled Endaro Mahanubhavalu, a festoon of the devout. We have chosen the inspiring events from the lives of 14 Acharyas, Mahans, who have trod Bharata Bhumi. ದೊಡ್ಡಾಚಾರ್ಯ, ಆದಿಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯ, ವೇದಾಂತ ದೇಶಿಕ, ಮುತ್ತುಸ್ವಾಮಿ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತ, ಪೋತನ, ಜಯದೇವ, ಆಂಡಾಳ್, ಮೀರಾಬಾಯಿ, ಕಂಬನ್, ತಿರುಮಳಿಸೈ ಪಿರಾನ್, ಭದ್ರಾಚಲ ರಾಮದಾಸು, ಗೋಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ತುಳಸಿದಾಸ, ಪುರಂದರದಾಸ, and Tukaram. We have strung it together into a beautiful dance production that is primarily Bharatanatyam based with movements of Odissi, Ghumar and Mohiniyattam, which is going to be multilingual as well with lines chosen from Sanskritam, Marathi, Brajbhasha, Rajasthani, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, so many languages put together. I've had the opportunity to work with dancers, Natya gurus of great repertoire in the last 15 years. This is an opportunity for me to have curated the production, to have done the storyboard and narrate the production in English. The choreography is by the very famous, revered Kalaimamani Srimati Anita Guha. The music is by the great grandson of Subramanya Bharati, a Sangeet Natak Academy awardee, Dr. Rajkumar Bharati. And the soundscape design is by Sri Sai Shravanam, one of the contributing engineers to the award-winning Life of Pi movie. We have all come together to present this grand production Endaro Mahanubhavalu in your city. On the 26th and on the 27th of September at the Prestige Center of Performing Arts in Bengaluru, we are presenting this production. On the 3rd and the 4th of October, we are doing it at the Naradagana Sabha in Chennai. On the 1st of November, we are doing it at the Fine Arts Society Chembur in Mumbai. And on the 29th of November at Kamani Auditorium in Delhi. Tickets are flying off the shelves. Please be present, buy your tickets and be with your family to watch this, I would say, once in a lifetime event. We are extremely thankful to the title sponsor, to the event sponsor, to the associate sponsors, and to those hands who have supported us. To the all of you, thank you. To the all of you, Vandanamulu, please be present. Namaskar.
This is the 10th art, Lipi Karma, writing. Handwriting, Bidi sir. No, who writes today? See, in most houses there are pens. They don't write. You check in any house, you ask them for a pen. They will give you gold and silver. Sir, one pen kodi sir. It won't write. Oh, ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸರ್ ನಾನು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇದು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅದು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ, ವೈ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. They have never done that ಮಾಡಿ. For years together, the pens are like Safarjung Museum, Hyderabad. You can keep them as monumental. Sir, this was the pen that I used while I was in college. When were you in college? In the Purva Janma? I've used this. So nobody writes. But Lipi Karma, see, now there is another big thing. Britishers came to India and they taught us how to dress up. We were all naked till then. They taught us how to breathe. They taught us you can eat. It's all, after all, English, right? You should have a queen's robe and a Victoria towel. They taught us. Britishers taught us how to write. This is from, I'll tell you, a 10th century temple in Karnataka, in Bidar. A lady is writing there in Hale Kannada. That's the picture. Before the Britishers, before the Turks came inside our country, we had one lady is writing. What is she writing? That is true of any emperor. See, all kings always want priests. Stuti stotarana priyaha. If you praise, you'll get a government job in those days before the king. Raja, ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ? You know, in Prataparudra, there was one king. Kausalyaye Prathama Janani Devaki cha Dvitiya Vishnurmata Tadanu Vasata Mummadamba Tritiya. One poet went and said, Paramatma was born as Rama to Kausalya, he was born as Krishna to Devaki, then he took the form of Prataparudra to Mummadamba. He said, you're appointed. See, if you praise your boss, some people don't. Why should I praise? Then you won't get promotion. You have to say, what a boss you are. When I see you from far, you look like Narayana. When I come close, you look like Brahma. Brahma is old. That person won't know Puranas. So you have to keep praising your bosses, right? So this lady is writing. What is she writing? She's saying, I am praising the Chalukya king Vikramaditya. She's writing, but the point is she knew how to write. Sir, Nodi sir, only 1,000 years back we got to know how to write. Till that there was no writing. Some Brihaspati will tell. For that Brihaspati, I have to give an answer. What is the answer? Let us go to Ramayana. Hanuman went to Lanka, first foreign travel. He went to Lanka to meet whom? Sita. He had to first tell, hello madam, I am Hanuman. ನಾನು ಕೆ ಹನುಮಾನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು, ಕೇಸರಿ ನನ್ನ ತಂದೆ, ನಾನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು? He has to talk. Now Sita has to believe because she is very wary of people. Once she was abducted. Now she's ಆಧಾರ್ ತೋರ್ಸು, ಅದು ತೋರ್ಸು, ಇದು ತೋರ್ಸು, ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ತೋರ್ಸು, ರೇಷನ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಯಾವ ಕಲರ್ ಕಾರ್ಡು ಎಲ್ಲ she's asking. Now he has to make Sita believe. What did he do? Ramanamaankitam chedam dattadevi anguliyakam, my dear Mata, take this ring of Rama, 916 gold. Ramanamaankitam chedam, it is written Rama on it. So Lipi Karma existed in the Ramayana time. One. Number two, I told you 31 minutes back, Rukmini wrote a letter. She has written. Correct. Sanatana Goswami says, Sita received a written name. Rukmini wrote a letter. 10th century, this is there. Now, how did the script evolve? That alone. See, the Devanagari script that we have today is not very old. The first one that we see from evidences that we have received, leftmost corner, can you see? That is the Indus script. It will largely be pictorial. Then came the Brahmi script. Then came the Grantha script. These are all, there are Karoshti, there are various scripts. I'm not getting into the history. This is how script has evolved. Lipi Karma. Then there is something I've not put. Vaidya script, doctors. That's a different script. Only a pharmacist will understand. You will not be, he will say, oh, glybipride helidare metformin jothe. Sir, yelli sir idella ide? Namgottu. That is one secret language, Mlecha Bhasha. Now, the next skill, that is the best of all. I love this skill. 11th, Ganitam, maths. That is a skill. Anything is maths in our life. Anything. You ask, you go to one house, hey, tumba channagide sweetu. What is it? 7 cup. Take 1 glass of besan flour. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರೋ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಫು ನೀವು ತುಪ್ಪ ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 1/4 ಇದು ತಗೋಬೇಕು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 1/4 ಡಬಲ್ ತಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ವೈಕುಂಠ. So they keep telling you one proportion, right? Dasharatha, he drove in 10 directions. Dasha, 3 wives, distributed the payasam 50% to Kaushalya, 25% to Sumitra, 12.5 to Kaikeyi, 12.5 to Sumitra again. 4 sons were born. Rama was able to annihilate one Rakshasa called Subha, who spared the life of the other called Maricha. He lifted the bow and broke and married Sita, went to the forest for 14 years. In the 14 years, in the 13th year, he fought 13,999 Rakshasas. The 14,000th one called Akampana goes and speaks about the valor of Rama to Ravana, and Ravana comes. Sita is taken in the 14th year. Rama builds a bridge of Shatayojana Vistirnam, Dashayojana Mayatam, 100 feet, 100 yojanas in length, 10 yojanas in width. Hanuman goes, who's the repository of Panchabhutas, the son of Vayu, going through Akasha, using air as the medium, crossing the waters, meeting Sita, who's the daughter of Mother Earth. So you have 5. 5 there, 10 there, 10 here, Dashanana 10. Mahabharata, 18 days of Yuddha, 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, 18 parvas of Mahabharata, 11 plus 7, 18 Akshauhini Sainyas. How do you design a Yajnakuntam? Arya Bhatiyam says, Chaturatika Shatam Ashtagunam Dvasashti Sahasranam. 4 more than 100, 104 into 8, 832 plus 62,000 divided by 20, 3.1416 is the pi value, construct a diameter. We have been a land of mathematicians. Madhava series came 350 years before the German series in the integral calculus, which has been expounded by Ramasubramaniam, the professor in IIT Powai. Vedanta Deshika's Chaturanga Turanga Bandham that talks about the movement of a knight on a chessboard. 750 years, 350 years before the Wandenhof solution that was given in Germany. What a country we have been of mathematics. Mathematics, we were kings. Even a person who has not been to a finishing school or the Ivy League, a vegetable vendor, while dealing with 10 customers, each customer he will be able to calculate for quarter kg, half a kg, add it and tell you the numbers. A PhD in our house needs a calculator. Ganitam, maths. Everything is maths. From your birth to death, 9 months of gestation, 3 trimesters, 3 sacs, amnion, chorion, placenta, 40 samskaras, karnabheram for 2 years, annaprashanam for 1 mouth, your janeyu, 3 threads. So what a country of mathematics. So ganitam, barlilla andre yen madodu, that's another thing. Now, work till you get. This is all I can say. There is no life without ganitam, right? Now, 12th, beautiful of all, Itihasa Puranani. You should have the skill of knowing your Itihasas and the Puranas. See, this is a very different topic for me that I'm taking, 64 arts. Generally, Upanyasake, safest bet is Ramayana, Bhagavata. First, you have to do Dhyana Shlokas, Kujantam, Rama, Rameti, Illi, Acharyaru, Hedovaga. That's all, that Paddhati will go. ನಾಳೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬರಬೇಕು, ನಾಳೆ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಅಂಗುಲಿಯ ಪ್ರದಾನ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ 5-6 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಶುರು ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಸುಂದರಕಾಂಡ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಈಸಿ. ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಡನ್ ದಿಸ್ 3500 lectures, full Ramayanam, Bhagavatam, Bharatam, different types of Ramayanam, Vakamba Ramayanam, Valmiki Ramayanam, Tyagaraja Ramayanam, Tulasidasa Ramayanam, Raghuvamsham of Kalidasa, everything we have done. Now for me, I am for, see, to keep on repeat, even I feel monotonous. Most of the youngsters today, if they work for a company for 2 years, they'll say, it's monotonous, I need to change. Now I cannot change. What will I change? Nobody will give me a job. I have to take a new topic. Itihasa Puranani. Ramayana, Mahabharata, we learn. What is the reason? Now, we will say a lot of things. Sir, adu Adhyatma Shastra. Nimana organize ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಅಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ವೇದಿಕೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಬೇಕು. ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಫೈನ್. ಫಿಲಸಾಫಿಕಲ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್, ಥಿಯಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್. ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟೆಲ್ ಯು. Now, who are these 2 people? Sen in title dena. My Tirumangai Alvar, one choice. Kumudavalli, his wife. This is Mr. and Mrs. Tirumangai Alvar, sir. Family photo takindidare. Huh? This is Rajaraja Chola. It's a sculpture. It's a living image that was returned by the foreign country. It is in the museum. It is his wife. He had many wives. One, there's no space for others. Now, one. This is Rajaraja Chola and his wife. 1000 years back, what a king he was. We speak of him today. Now, why is Rajaraja Chola coming into picture? Okay. First, you have to listen very, very clearly and patiently. Else, it is a waste of time for you and for me also. In the Puranas and the Itihasas, we come through lineages. Parampare baratte. Dodda pradarshana irate, vyakhyana irate. Yav parampareyalli bandidare. Brahma, it will always begin with Brahma. Brahma is the manufacturing person. Brahma's son is Marichi. Have you heard of a rishi called Marichi? Hear it now. Marichi had a son called Kashyapa. How many have Kashyapa or Kashyapa in your pravara? Mamis can also lift. Don't worry, mama jonnadane sir theriyum engalukku. Assume your mama says, Kashyapa. Kashyapa had a son called Vivaswan. Vivaswan is son. Surya is Vivaswan. Vivaswan had a son called Manu. This Manu was called Satyavrata. Make note of this. This Satyavrata was in Madurai. Bhagavatam says, ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಧುರೈ ತಿರುಚಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತಾರ ಸರ್? ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಭಾಗವತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸತ್ಯವ್ರತ ದ್ರಮಿಡ ದೇಶ ರಾಜಾನಾಂ, ನಾರಾಯಣ ಭಟ್ಟತ್ರಿ says. That is when Matsyavatara happens, you remember? Then the Satyavrata, because of floods, he then shifts his capital to Ayodhya. Since he is the son of Vivaswan, he was called Vaivasvata Manu. This Vaivasvata Manu builds Ayodhya. How do we know? Valmiki says, Kosalo nama nagari, Spito janapado mahan, Manuna manavendrena yapuri nirmita swayam. This city was constructed by Manu. So Marichi, Kashyapa, Vivaswan, Vaivasvata Manu. Correct. Now Vaivasvata Manu had a son called Ikshwaku. That is why Rama comes in that Vamsha. Ikshwaku kula tilaka ikanaina palukave Ramachandra. That line, Ikshwaku, that king. Ikshwaku had a son called Vikukshi. Vikukshi was called Shashada because there was a Shapam by Vasishta. He gave cooked hare's flesh. So Shashada. Vikukshi had a son called Puranjaya. Puranjaya had another name. He stood on the hump of a bull. I told you at 536. Kakutstha. Rama is called Kakutstha. Kakutstha. Puranjaya is called Kakutstha. Puranjaya's Vamsha, there was a king called Kuvalashva. This Kuvalashva killed a demon called Dundumara. So he was called Dundu. He killed Dundu, so he was called Dundumara. In Kuvalashva's parampara comes a king called Yuvanashva. Yuvanashva, after a long time, had a son. The queens did not feed him with milk. Indra felt so bad. Ye bachcha doodh ke liye ro raha hai. He dipped his hand in Amrita and gave his index finger to that boy to suck. He says, Mam dadhati, I will give. So this boy was called Mandhata. This Mandhata had 3 sons. First son was called Ambarisha. Sir, hapa, he will go to sir. Yel bartare ee Ambarisha. Durvasa, what is that incident? Ekadashi Vrata, correct? Very good. That is also another incident. Youngsters, give him a big round. This Ambarisha also comes in another context because Ambarisha conducts a yagam. The yajna horse goes away. They have to sacrifice. That is when they say instead of the horse, you bring a human and sacrifice. They go in search of a human. They send one son called Shunashepa. So then Shunakshepa does prapatti to the Rigvedic deities and protects himself. This is there. This is one Ambarisha, Ambarisha 1.0, 2.0. But the Ambarisha that I said is not that Ekadashi Ambarisha. See this Ikshwaku, Vikukshi, I told you, right? This Manu, Ikshwaku. Ikshwaku had a son called as Nabhaga. Nabhaga had a son called Nabhaga. This comes in Bhagavatam. I'll just tell you that story before I go to that. Because Itihasa Puranani, right? This Nabhaga, what happens? Nabhaga, the father, he distributes his wealth. First, he has got wealth. While he's living itself, he distributes. Can parents distribute the wealth while they're living to their children? What do you think? Beda sir, risk sir adu. Tumba risk sir. Irovagrane kodbitre avun yelli nan taltane sir. But there is a Shastra Vakyam. Parents should distribute their property while they are living. There is a Shastra Vidhi. You should not wait for your death. Now think about it. Now this Nabhaga had many sons. While he distributed the property in equal proportion, the first son went on a Tirtha Yatra. He had come to Malleshwaram, Baswangudi and all. The first son was called Nabhaga. So the other sons got their property and the first son also had to get his share. The first son's property, the other children took it away. Poor this Nabhaga comes slowly after Vidyarthi Bhavana ella madbittu Tande hatra bandu sir nan property Gopika Jeevana Smaranam. Property is gone. Now what did Nabhaga said? Yen Tande. Then Nabhaga said, don't worry, you will get property. Son asked, where? In the close by hamlet, Angiras Maharshi and his descendants are performing a yaga for 12 days. Dwadashi Yagam. Generally, when they perform on the 6th day, they will forget the Vaishwadeva mantra. You go there, teach them, and you get the property. He goes there, 6th day, they forget. This Nabhaga teaches those Angiras Maharishi's descendants. They say, towards the end of the Yagam, whatever wealth is left, it is all yours. You have taught us, take it. The Yagam was over. Nabhaga took that property. Then one person came. He said, I am Rudra, because there is a Shastra, Shruti Vakyam, that whatever are the balance that are found of wealth in a yaga belongs to Rudra. Rudra said, this is my share, kano. Ninatra kodakagalla Nabhaga. So Nabhaga said, is there a rule like that? Go check with your father. Nabhaga went to his father, Nabhaga, and asked. Rudra says it belongs to him. The father said, that is correct. Whatever is balance in a yajna belongs to Rudra. So he comes back and says, Rudra, you take it. It is your share. I won't take. Rudra was so happy. He said, see, you could have said no, but you said take it. So I am giving you this property. By this punyam, you will have a great son. That son was Ambarisha, who did the Ekadashi Vratam. This is the other lineage. This Ikshvaku Vikukshi's lineage, there is one Ambarisha. Ambarisha had a younger brother called Purukutsa and another brother called Muchukunda. This Purukutsa and Ambarisha's lineage only comes forward as Sagara, as Asamanjas, Amshuman, Dilipa, Raghu, Aja, Dasharatha, Rama. Correct? One king I forgot. Muchukunda I said, right? From Muchukunda comes the lineage of Cholas. How do we know that? Recently, Modi ji went to Netherlands and got that Anaimangalam plates, right? Similarly, there are Kanyakumari inscriptions and Tiruvalangadu copper plates. Cholas say we are descendants of Rama. So, to learn Itihasas and Puranas is not to while away the 2 hours in the evening. To know that Rama who lives through the Cholas and the lineage continues, thereby saying that Ramayana is history and not mythology. Pandyas, they were descendants of Chandravamsha. How do we know? Plate inscriptions. How do we know? Raghuvamsha, Kalidasa says, Ravana used to fear none. Go check. Like Rajdeep, you can also fact check me. In Raghuvamsha, Kalidasa says, Ravana feared none but the Pandyas who were Vishnu Bhaktas who had Brahmastram and he would never go there. These Pandyas continued and supported the Pandavas in Mahabharata Yuddha. How do we know? Udyoga Parva Shloka. Rashtrakutas, who ruled large parts of Maharashtra and Karnataka, they say we are descendants of Yaduvamsha and Satyaki. Pallavas, who ruled Chennai and Kanchipuram, they say we are descendants of Bharadwaja, Drona and Ashwathama. That is why even today in our houses, they will ask, tell me your Abhivadaye. We have to connect ourselves to that Rishi. That is why amongst Brahmanas, Harita Gotram, Vishwamitra Gotram, Kaushika Gotram, they used to think twice to give in marriage because these are all Kshatriya Gotrams. Even if you are a Brahmana, you will generally have the tendency to fight. I come from Harita Gotram. That is why you see me in Arnab debate. See? If I had been from a Maharishi Atreya Gotram, I would have been very soft. Ambarisha Yavanaswa. Ambarisha, we say, right? This is Ambarisha Vamsha in the Pravaram. Yauvanaswa Traya Rishaye Pravaranvita, the 3 rishis. How many of you are Harita here? Kaushika, Vishwamitra. See, we are all very nice people. No. So this is our Itihasa Puranam. So 12 Rahasyas. Can I do one more art and finish it off? Then you will get Ola Uber. Don't worry. 13th art is called Nimitta Jnanam. See, I don't know how many of you remember, youngsters, I don't even know if your family still follows. When we leave our house, suddenly we trip. If the elderly person is there, they'll say, sit, drink water. Have you seen that? One more belief. You should never leave on the 9th day. Correct? Correct? Have you heard of that? When you go to one place, the ninth day you should not start. But we found a shortcut for that. It is called Parasthanam. Have you heard of that? For that, we cannot go stay somewhere else. That person will not entertain. What do we do? On the eighth day itself, we will go and keep the bag outside. That means we are leaving. So that ninth day count will not come. And generally, when a good event happens and glass falls, drishti, here, right? Parents for everything, they'll say, "Yo, nan magalige drishti ಏನಿದೆ ಹಾಕಕ್ಕೆ drishti." Even then, they'll take one load of salt and waste it that day. Why? Because we all believe in shakunas and nimittas. We believe, look at omens. See, in Jyotishya Shastram, there is a rule. Today, Jyotishis may follow a different way. In Jyotishya Shastram, there's a rule. Suppose I take the horoscope, Jataka. That Jyotishi should see the nimittas. Then only they will open. For example, inside the house, somebody says, "Coffee powder agbittide." Then you should say, "Today I will not see that Jatakam." Because you have heard something negative. That is why in the older days, they used to say, talk positively. Astu devataha santi. Astu, astu. Have you heard your grandmothers say that? Nannave nadakkum. Should keep on telling that. Right? Now, where is this? Does this nimitta jnanam come? Pay attention. This comes in the Ramayana. गच्छन्तं तु नरव्याघ्रं सर्षिसङ्घं सराघवं घोरास्तु पक्षिणो वाचो व्याहरन्ति समन्ततः भौमाश्चैव मृगाः सर्वे गच्छन्ति स्म प्रदक्षिणं तान् दृष्ट्वा राजशार्दूलो वसिष्ठं पर्यपृच्छत. This is Balakandam. What is the situation? Dasharatha received a letter. It was sent by from Janaka, Mithila main road, Mithila cross street. So he said. So it says, "Dear Dashrath, I'm very happy to let you know that the bow that was there in my house with a single crack has finally been broken by your son." Dasharatha felt, "Yenidu nan magan bagge complaint bandide." But then Janaka continued, "Thereby we wish to honor your son by marriage with my daughter." What will parents do? How dare! I should have been there. I am the father who has birthed him. Dasharatha said, "Thank you so much." Right? Finally, he has that alliance is happening. Why should I worry about putting his profile in Bharat matrimony and all? With that, Janaka gave another offer. It was a special offer, season. He said, "We have got 3 more girls in our house. You have 3 more boys in your house. Onde catering team. ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಒಂದೇ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿವಾಹ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ." Dasharatha gave a thumbs up, emoticon. He comes. Pavanaja stuti patra pavana charitra Ravi Soma, you remember 535 I told you? Ravi Soma, you remember Horus? You remember that? Remember Egypt? Ravi Soma Varanetra Ramaniya Gatra. Because generally, when you complete the Upanyasam, you should do it in a good note. Sita. Aha. वैभोग में राम कल्याण वैभोग में happy kalyanam happened. They all left Mithila. Return gifts were given. It was a thematic wedding after the haldi and the mehendi. There was sangeet. Apastamba Sutra says you should have sangeet. The fathers and the mothers danced. And the marriage was over when grandeur. And they were all leaving. Now comes the problem. Suddenly they saw the birds go in a clockwise direction at the top. Suddenly birds went at the top. They were worried what's happening. By the time they put their heads down, they saw the animals running in a clockwise direction. Dasharatha said, "Everybody stop." They all stopped. Then he asked, he had a very learned person as his minister. They used to be learned. So he asked his minister, my dear minister, Vasishtha, you tell me how do you decipher all these omens? Vasishtha said, birds go in a certain direction. That means very soon you will have an obstacle. When the terrestrial animals go in the clockwise direction, it means the speed at which that obstacle will come, it will also go away. As Vasishtha completed, Parashurama arrived. Parashurama said, how did you break that bow, this bow? Then he said, Rama, if you're a great Veera, if you're a WWF champion, break this bow. Rama broke and he went away. So this is the Shakuna Jnanam and Nimitta Jnanam. 1, 2. This is a very important verse for this picture. Tat prayatam balam ghoram ashivam shonitodakam udakam. Udakam ante emi? Water. Shonita? Blood. Blood water. Tat prayatam bhayam ghoram ashivam. Shivam andre Shiva andre auspiciousness. Mangalakara. Ashivam means inauspicious. Shonitodakam, red rain. Blood rain from top in the clouds. A positive, B positive, AB negative. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಬೀಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಭ್ಯವರ್ಷತ್ ಮಹಾಮೇಘಃ ತುಮುಲೋ ಗರ್ಧಭಾರುಣಃ. All the donkeys were braying. For these days we see only dogs. Do you see donkeys? I don't know. When I grew, I used to see donkeys. Now dogs are the second next population next to Indians in Bharatam. So garbadodakam. So donkeys were braying. When did this happen? Pay attention. Shurpanakha comes humiliated and goes, right? She doesn't go to Ravana. She doesn't like Ravana. Read the Ramayana properly. Her husband was killed by Ravana. That is why she got Aadhar also in Maharashtra. Card and all she changed. She was not from Sri Lanka. Later only she goes. So she goes and complains to Karadushana and Trishiras. She goes to them in Janasthana and tells them, Bhaiya, dekho. Because the blood had dried. Platelet count was good. It had dried. It had clotted. Bhaiya, dekho. Immediately Karadushana got angry. You know that, right? I told you last year also. Now Kara starts. Kara starts in his chariot. When he starts in his chariot, the flag post that is there in his chariot, Garuda comes and sits on it. Point number 1. Note this. All this is in Ramayana. Go check me. I'm very happy to be questioned. So if you feel something is missing somewhere, something went wrong, please go check and then ask me. It is there, Aranya Kandam. The same time, Rama and Sita in Panchavati, Sita comes and says, Rama, the lotuses in our ponds have started withering. See, when this war happened, it was before Vasanta Ritu. So after Vasanta Ritu only Grishma Ritu comes. So it could not have been heat. It was somewhere after Hemanta and Shishira. So how did it wither in the daytime? 1. When Kara starts, he sees the bird. Then Ramayana says he had headache. He pressed his head like this, migraine or something he did. Then the entire army starts. During the daytime, Rama says, looking at it, he sees the sky. Suddenly it started turning red. There is a circle, a halo around the sun. There is lot of dust. He hears the cries and the roars of the birds and the animals. He says, Sita should be taken to a cave. Lakshmana, you do it. Lakshmana says, Bhaiya, main bhi. Chup, jao. Melody chocolate leke jao. Udhar khao. Jao. They both went. Rama is standing. Now Kara comes. It was a massive war of 14,000 Rakshasas with one Rama. Rama is standing single, hero. 14,000 people, cycle chain, soda bottle, 7 o'clock blade, ella takundu. Rama fought them. Correct? That time Valmiki says there was red rain, blood rain. See, this is what Valmiki says. Valmiki is a poet. He says it is like blood. Immediately, what will we write? Blood ante sir. Yaro ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಕೂತು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ blood ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. No. You know what the rishis come and do? You have to observe Ramayanam. The rishis come and ask Rama, why is it red? Before the yuddham happens, why is it red? Adyayeva aparvaniva. It is not parvani. Parvam means either Amavasya or Purnima. On Amavasya, you have solar eclipse. On full moon, you have lunar eclipse. This is aparvanam. Aparvanam means there is no tithi. This is neither Amavasya or Purnima. How will eclipse come? This is not eclipse. But then he says, idam dhumaketuva. It is a meteor. It is a meteor. Kabandhamiva. Then there is an asteroid hit. Ulkam, it is called. Okay, this is what is there in the Ramayana. How do we decipher this? See, when a meteor hits and passes the atmosphere, it breaks through the clouds, right? So nitrous oxide is produced. When that comes on earth, it becomes red color rain. It's called acid rain. It happens during a meteoric hit. The first ever piece of literature in the entire world to have recorded a meteoric hit is the Ramayana. It is called Dhumaketu. Whenever it hits, that king will be affected. That is why Khara died. He was the king of Janasthana. You remember Ponniyin Selvan? வால்நக்ஷத்தம் தோன்றியது சோழனுக்கும் முன்னாள் அது தோன்றிய பொழுது. They say, right, that meteor will lead to the death of the Chola king. That is why. So it's a meteoric hit. Sir, why did the flowers wither? Because when meteor hits, the particles go to the atmosphere. That time when there is a thick envelope between the earth and the sun, there is a sudden dip in the temperature. When the dip in the temperature happens, flowers can't bear it, they start withering. All this will be a part of my new Ramayana book when you read. When you buy that in Aranyakandam, you'll see the footnotes of how this chemical reaction has happened and how Valmiki has said. They were all great nimittagnyas. So when a meteoric hit happens, that is why when it touches earth, meteoric lakes are formed. There is a lake near Trayambakeshwar in Panchavati in Maharashtra, formed by the meteor. So all this. So this is nimitta jnanam. When Hanuman brought Sugriva and Rama together, their armies will help each other. Vali will be killed. Ravana has to be killed. When Rama and Sugriva hold their hands, Sita kapindra kshanada charanam rajiva hemojvalanopamani Sugriva Rama pranaya prasange vamani netrani samam spuranti. The left eye of Sita, Vali and Ravana winked. Ramayana. Why? Because for a lady, if the left eye winks, good. For the man, it is bad. If Rama and Sugriva have come together, Vali will die. So Vali's left eye winked. If Vali dies, subsequently Ravana will die. His left eye winked. If Ravana dies, Sita will be rescued. For her left eye winked. When read Bhagavatam, Dashamaskandam, when Krishna comes, Rukmini was worried. Did this Brahmana take it to the right Krishna? Letter na? Dwaraka takondu hogandre Delhiyalli ಒಂದು ದ್ವಾರಕ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಗುಜರಾತ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ದ್ವಾರಕ ಇದೆ, ದಿಲ್ಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ದ್ವಾರಕ ಇದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕೈಲಾಶ್ ಇದೆ, ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ಕೈಲಾಶ್ ಅಂತ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಸರು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಕಣೋ ಇವನು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ವರೀಡ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ ಬ್ರಾಹ್ಮಣರು? ನೋ ಸೈನ್. ಶಿಶುಪಾಲ ಸಿಂಗ್ ರುಕು आओ, शादी करनी है, live telecast. Rukmini was worried. Will I never marry Krishna? She was worried. She thought, let me just check. She turned her head. Drishya Achyuta. She, some people comb hair and then put that hair down, right? There is one pen like this also. It will give that. So then she tried to put that. She put that back and she said, Drishya Achyuta. She saw Achyuta there. Vedanta Deshika adds, Tulasi Gandham Panchajanyasya Nadaha. Smell of Tulasi, sound of Panchajanya. Finally, Devaki's daughter-in-law. Thank you, ladies. Tumba help madidri. She gave one vote of thanks and went. How did she know Krishna came? Bhagavatam says, her left eye and hand throbbed, it seems. Nimittam. So, nimitta jnanam. See, that is why the doctors say at times you should get, see, I'll tell you, during tsunami, We will never know tsunami is going to come. Birds and animals will know before. They will leave that space. No dog will die. We will be walking there with AirPods. Right? Kanta ഞാനും വരാ തൃശൂർ പൂരം കാണാ പൂരണ ജയിച്ചൊരു കാരണ സുനാമി വന്നല്ലോ ഇവിടെ. Animals will know nimitta jnanam. That is the 13th vidya. 64 mein kitna ho gaya? 13. Correct? How many more left? Beautiful vidyas are going to come. Architecture will come. Music will come. You'll be spellbound by the contributions of Bharata. Now, what you have to do is tomorrow, same time, 5 o'clock, we'll start. As usual, I've told you, thanks to the organizers, how they have come together with the only thought of taking it to the audience. They are making it absolutely free for you all, but open your wallets, be extremely generous to their donations, because that will always motivate organizers to organize more. See, for us, a pizza could be 600, we are ready to pay. But 100 for a ticket for a cultural event is a big no. Heng sir idu dharma karya. Free ne irbek sir idu. That's our mentality, right? But we will be very happy to pay for an emerald like Neeta's. Neeta had a huge one, right? So Neeta's emeralds were just out of the box. It was excellent. We will go pair there, 18% GST on precious stone. 100 rupees for a dance show, that's all. It will become a big topic of debate in X, Twitter. ಹೆಂಗ್ ಸರ್ ಡಾನ್ಸ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ತಗೋತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್, ಹಂಗೆ ಫ್ರೀಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ಆಡಬೇಕು, ಹಾಡಿ ಹಾಡಿ ಕನಕಧಾರ ಹಾಡಿ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ರೈಟ್, ಆಲ್ ಅವರ್ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಪುವರ್. Please do not have that. Open your wallets, open your purses, be extremely generous towards the organizers. They have to call me again. So for today, we are going to complete Kalyana Rupaya Kalau Jananam Kalyana Datre Karuna Sudhabdhe Kamvadi Divya Yudha Satkaraya Vatalaya Dhisha Namo Namaste Narayana 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 Narayana. कवितार्किक सिंहाय कल्याण गुणशालिने श्रीमते वेंकटेशाय वेदांत गुरवे नमः. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः. गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु.
परम भागवत मौनि वरस शिविभाकर सनक सनंदन दीश सुर किं पुरुष कनक कशिपु सुत नारद तुम्बुरु पवन सूनु बालचंद्रधर शुक सरोज भव भूसुर वरुलु परम पावनुलु घनुलु शाश्वतुलु कमल भव सुखमु सदानुभवुलु गयंदरो महानुभावुलु. As I'm speaking these divine lines of Sri Tyagaraja Swami, I've received the very divine Onavil of Thiruvananthapuram. This is going to be a grand, a mega Natya production titled Endaro Mahanubhavalu, a festoon of the devouts. We have chosen the inspiring events from the lives of 14 Acharyas, Mahans, who have trod Bharata Bhumi. ದೊಡ್ಡಾಚಾರ್ಯ, ಆದಿಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯ, ವೇದಾಂತ ದೇಶಿಕ, ಮುತ್ತುಸ್ವಾಮಿ ದೀಕ್ಷಿತ, ಪೋತನ, ಜಯದೇವ, ಆಂಡಾಳ್, ಮೀರಾಬಾಯಿ, ಕಂಬನ್, ತಿರುಮಳಿಸೈ ಪಿರಾನ್, ಭದ್ರಾಚಲ ರಾಮದಾಸು, ಗೋಸ್ವಾಮಿ, ತುಳಸಿದಾಸ, ಪುರಂದರದಾಸ and Tukaram. We have strung it together into a beautiful dance production that is primarily Bharatanatyam based with movements of Odissi, Ghumar and Mohiniyattam, which is going to be multilingual as well, with lines chosen from Sanskritam, Marathi, Braj Bhasha, Rajasthani, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, so many languages put together. I've had the opportunity to work with dancers, Natya gurus of great repertoire in the last 15 years. This is an opportunity for me to have curated the production, to have done the storyboard and narrate the production in English. The choreography is by the very famous revered Kalaimamani Srimati Anita Guha. The music is by the great grandson of Subramanya Bharati, a Sangeet Natak Academy awardee, Dr. Rajkumar Bharati, and the soundscape design is by Sri Sai Shravanam, one of the contributing engineers to the award-winning Life of Pi movie. We have all come together to present this grand production Endaro Mahanubhavalu in your city. On the 26th and on the 27th of September at the Prestige Center of Performing Arts in Bengaluru, we are presenting this production. On the 3rd and the 4th of October, we are doing it at the Naradagana Sabha in Chennai. On the 1st of November, we are doing it at the Fine Arts Society Chembur in Mumbai. And on the 29th of November at Kamani Auditorium in Delhi. Tickets are flying off the shelves. Please be present, buy your tickets and be with your family to watch this, I would say, once in a lifetime event. We are extremely thankful to the title sponsor, to the event sponsor, to the associate sponsors, and to those hands who have supported us. To the all of you, thank you. To the all of you, Vandanamulu, please be present. Namaskar.